G'day, and welcome back to Everlasting Summer. Bright daylight strikes my eyes. At first I didn't pay attention as I wasn't fully awake yet. On their own, my legs carried me towards the door. Damn, looks like I fell asleep and missed my stop. But there was no door. You alright, mate? Feeling fine? I looked around the bus and realised that it wasn't a good old worn out Liaise. Instead, the bus was an Icarus model, a new one. I froze in shock. How? What? Am I dead? If this is your heaven, have I been kidnapped? No, must be dead. That's it. That's right. Yeah. Just goes to that one. I patted myself down feverishly, slapped myself painfully in the face a few times, banged my forehead on the back of one of the bus seats. It's clear either I'm still alive, or you can still feel pain when you're dead. But how could this happen? Maybe I slept for too long and ended up at the bus depot. Yeah, that might be right. And then what? Did they put me onto another bus? Perhaps. I rushed out and took a look around. Greenery wherever I looked, tall grass on the roadside, trees, flowers. Summer? But how? It was winter just a moment ago. My head was aching unbearably, as if it was going to explode. Slowly I began to remember. A bit close there. A long road running off into the distance. Forests, plains, fields, lakes, and forests again. I think I was sleeping, but then how can I remember all of it? And then a gap. Some girl leaning over me. She softly whispered something into my ear. Then a gap again. Then I woke up here. That whisper was probably a scream, you know. Scream and wake up. Who was that strange girl? I don't know why you asked me. Or was she just a dream? For some reason, thinking about her made me feel better and calmed me down a little. I felt warmth all over, coming from the inside. That's right. Could it be her who brought me here? Then I need to find her. And the best place to look for her is away from here. I rushed to the left, then to the right, then stopped, hesitating over where to go. Finally I ran in the direction from which the bus had probably came. Physical exercise does refresh one's mind. Thoughts become clearer, and it gets a little easier to evaluate the surrounding area. Reality. Not in my case, however. I was sitting on the roadside wheezing and trying to catch my sore throat by gulping breaths of hot air. Trying to catch my sore throat, it'd be a bit hard to catch it. Trying to ease. In any case, the run did its job. The fear withdrew for a while. Maybe I really am just dreaming. Though, recalling myself harm on the bus, I immediately rejected the idea. I am neither dreaming nor dead. A narrow road ran through the field and far into the distance. That exact same road from my dream. I must be very far away from home. And it's not just that. It was winter yesterday and it's summer now. It's the whole environment. Of course, summer is usually like this, green and hot. But here everything is not entirely lifelike. Everything looks like it was taken from the paintings of Russian landscape artists of the 19th century. The grass is just too lush. The bushes are not like what bushes should be. They are so thick and that you can't see anything through them. Like treetops, honestly. Which bushes? Those bushes? And the trees themselves. The forest was quite far away, but the trees looked as if they had closed their ranks and were now just waiting for the order to advance onto the fields and plains. I caught my breath and looked at the bus, which was now barely visible. That was a good run. Fear overtook me once again. Those power lines. There must be people here. But what does it mean? In fact, that means nothing at all. Couldn't they have power lines even in hell? Roasting sinners over hot coals? That's so last century. I must have reached the point of no return, after which you should either lose your mind completely, or finally try to understand what is going on. And while I still have a choice, I should pick the second option. I slowly headed back to the bus. Of course it was scary, but I'm not likely to find an answer in the field, or the woods, and this wretched bucket of bolts is the only kind of link that I have with the real world. A door. I should carefully scout the area. Yeah, you probably should. Soviet... Not sure how to pronounce that, but I think it's Sovianok. Means owlet. A brick wall and its gates, crowned with a... Sovianok? Sign. Statues of pioneers standing on either side, and a road sign nearby showing the bus route number 410. The trip's taking a bit too long today. I smirked. Well, at least you can find amusement out of it. A person may start acting inappropriately in extreme situations. Something like that is probably happening to me now. Well, how you acted on the bus, probably. This place didn't look abandoned at all. No rust on the gates, no damage to the walls. Just a bit of dirt. That location. Sovianok. What could have a name like that? Judging by the pioneer statues, it could be a kid's summer camp. Moreover, it appears to be open. Of course, the simplest explanation, logically speaking, explains nothing at all. The strange girl, the altered bus, summer, the pioneer camp. Thousands of theories went through my mind instantly, from alien abduction to lethargic sleep, from hallucination to a time and space shift. None was worse than any other, but there was really no way to pick a single one. Then it occurred to me, I can try and make a phone call. Do you have service? I took out my cell phone and dialed the first number from my contact list. Sound like it didn't work there, mate. But instead of signal strength bars, the screen was showing a thick cross. Alright, there may be no signal in such a remote place. Though I cannot be the only one who came here. Buses don't drive themselves. I examined the bus from all sides to make sure that it wasn't a hallucination. Well, it looks like a bus. Bits of dirt on the bottom, some rust here and there, faded paint, and worn-out tyres. No, this is definitely a very ordinary Icarus. Didn't have anything to do with the flaming headlight, did it? The bus just spontaneously combusting, nothing to do with it. Exactly the kind of bus which takes you to places beyond your understanding if you carelessly fall asleep. I gave a nervous chuckle. Came out by itself sporadically. Spontaneously. Because this wasn't the right place or time to laugh. But where on earth is the driver? Well, he's not in the bus by the looks of it. I cautiously sat down on the curb beside the bus and started to wait. And waited. We just need one of those time cards now. My patience didn't last long. My anxiety seemed to have reached its peak, and I started to go slightly mad. In such a situation, anyone would have probably felt something similar. Aliens and parallel universes were gone from my imagination, leaving only void and darkness. Is this how everything will end? How my life will end? But I wanted to do so much. There were so many things I had no time for yet. I was overwhelmed by the idea this was definitely the end. But why? Why indeed? Again, why are you asking me? It's not fair. Surely I'm no worse than anyone else. I don't think God's gonna save you. Did you fall asleep again? Tears were burning my eyes unbearably. I curled up and started rolling in the grass. Why are you? I don't know. But my cries were only heard by the speechless statues of the pioneers and a bird on the tree, which immediately flapped its wings and took off, crying out something in its own bird language, as if laughing at the idiot who dared to interrupt its after-dinner nap. I was left breathless from weeping and just lay quietly sobbing occasionally. After a while, I managed to pull myself together. Good on ya. My mind cleared up a bit, as if terror and fear of death gave me a little break. All in all, if someone wanted to kill me, what is all this for? Doesn't look like an experiment either. If this is just some crazy coincidence, then there's probably no threat. Anyway, for now it seems there's no danger. The panic was soon gone. Of course, the blood was still pounding in my temples, and my hands were still shaking, but at least I could think clearly now. Right now, there is nothing I can really change anyway. So no matter how much I think about, or how mad I get, it would only make things worse. Until some actual facts appear. There is really no point in making guesses. In any case, I won't learn anything by lounging about here. The camp, if of course it really is a camp, looked like the only place where people could be, so I decided to go there. And hardly had I reached the gates when a girl came out from behind them, wearing a pioneer uniform. My logic didn't let me down this time. Then again, a pioneer uniform is in the 21st century. And then again, a girl here. I froze, unable to take a step. I felt very much like running away. Running as far away as I could from this place. Far from the bus, gates, statues, and far from this bloody girl with its siesta. That's right. Just running, free like the wind, faster and faster, waving the planets passing by, winking at the galaxies. Running, becoming a pulsar ray, and turning into vestigial radiation. Running to face the unknown. I think you're thinking a bit hard, a bit too much on this. A bit too hard, mate. Run no matter where, as long as it's far away from this place. Meanwhile, the girl came closer and I smiled. I couldn't help but notice her beauty, even though I was trembling with fear. Human instincts work independent of consciousness, and while only 5% of the brain is responsible for cognitive processes, the remaining 95% are always busy sustaining life, and in particular ensuring stable functioning of the hormonal system. I desperately wanted to get less complicated, and stop thinking in formal quotes from an encyclopedia, though my thoughts appeared one by one, being stupid, out of place, as if taken from an internal monologue of the hero of some junky softcover crime fiction book. A pretty Slavic face, long braids that looked like 2 armfuls of fresh hay, and blue eyes you could drown in. Try not to drown. Alright, should I give her a voice? I don't know her personality, so I'm not sure what voice to give her. I'll give her a... Just gotta think about this for a second. Let's see if my voice wants to work.
Hi, your message has arrived.
It'll probably get better over time. Well, it'd be polite to reply. Do I reply with sentences or... yeah.
Alright then, welcome.
She smiled broadly. Strange, it looked as if I addressed a normal girl in front of me. I shouldn't have returned here. The woods and fields seem better. But what shall I do next? Try to speak to her as if she was a human? Or run away or what? You sure she's not human? She looks human enough. Blood was pumping unbearably in my head, tearing it apart from the inside. A little bit more, and the poor pioneer girl would be splattered with the gruesome contents of my skull. Keep it in, mate.
What's so funny about that?
Is that the right voice? I'll have to see. It might change over time. Did I say that? Probably. About what? What did I say? You read my mind. The girl looked me over. It sent shivers down my spine, and my knees started to tremble. Nothing.
Great then.
Great, what's so great about that? Suddenly a thought crossed my mind. To hell with it all. Forget about the bus behind me. The fact that it was winter yesterday and summer today, I wanted to rip off my itchy sweater and just accept that all this is actually happening. Everything is as it should be. All this is for the best. Would you happen to know...
You should go to the camp leader. She'll tell you everything. Look. You go straight ahead to the square and turn left. You'll see several small cabins.
Should I give her a more... Should I put more strength into that voice? She pointed at the gate as if I knew what was behind them. that word is a derivative of a person's father's name, in this case, Dmitri, put by Russians after the person's name as a sign of respect. Need hydration to do these voices.
Well, you can ask someone where Olga's dark cabin is.
Yeah.
Got it?
Of course I didn't. How's I meant to understand that?
Well, I've got to go now.
The girl waved a hand at me and disappeared through the gates. It seemed as if to her, I was something. Something? Ordinary. And all this shows with the bus and the travels while awake or asleep were troubling only to me, while everything here is just the way it's supposed to be. Camp leader, pioneer uniform. Were they doing a... What? Are they doing a historical reenactment here? I hope I won't find Lenin standing atop an armoured car in this square. But even that would not surprise me right now. After staying alone for a while, I headed to the camp. A mere 50 meters ahead, a small one-story house popped up on the left side. The sign near the door said clubs. I was about to come closer, when the door suddenly opened and a short girl wearing a pioneer uniform came out. Her pretty face gave me the impression of one suffering from the fate of the whole of mankind with a truly universal sorrow. As soon as she saw me, the girl froze as if frightened. I froze too, considering what was the best to do. To approach her first or wait until she showed some initiative. Or maybe run away after all. Now, you come this far. You don't need to run already. Although this last option was consistently being suggested only by my self-preservation instinct. At least that's what I'd like to believe. Not the worst human instinct, but far from the most logical. If this instinct played poker against deductive abilities, the outcome would be predetermined. And those deductive abilities, or at least their semblance, were hinting to me that there was no need to be afraid of this girl. Suddenly somebody jumped out of nearby bushes. They actually jumped down the grass. A girl wearing a bright red t-shirt with USSR written on it. Such a perfect reproduction of the age. She looked quite short from a distance and was probably younger than both pioneer girls. The one at the gates and this girl at the door of the club. At last I decided to come closer, but the USSR, as I called her in my mind, jumped towards the first girl and started telling her something while wildly waving her arms. The other girl in turn seemed confused and lowered her gaze, remaining silent. I would probably continue to observe their amusing dialogue, but the USSR suddenly pulled something out of her pocket and started waving it in front of the first girl's face. This something turned out to be a grasshopper. And that's where I'm going to leave it for this episode. If you enjoyed it, and my amateur voice acting, leave a like. If you enjoy what I do, why not subscribe? With all that said, be sure to tune in next time. Cheerio.